Ladies and gentlemen, hello! We are back. Let's get ourselves set up for another lower bracket round 11. For Asia, we're on console. It is season 0 of the Marvel Rivals Championship. We are 34 days away or 35 days away. No, wait, maths is hard. We're in February, so it's like 27, 28 days. We're like a month and a bit away before Season 1 begins, but we still have plenty of Asia console matches and the NA console matches to cover on this channel, so make sure you stay subscribed, meaning we're going to have almost a seamless upload schedule of a game a day. Let's go, baby! OCE Yungins are on the left, and Ouroboros are on the right. Looking at the paths they took to get here, Ouroboros was sent down to the lower bracket, being 3-0'd by Hope, whereas Yungins, they took down Mecha Men in the lower bracket round 10 in a 3-1 to make it here. Loki going to be taken out right off the bat, as is Doctor Strange. Hela and Psylocke, two of the most common damage dealers, are going to be protected here. In case you can't tell, I still have a cold and it's getting worse, but I'm still here because I don't have a back catalogue, so I just have to take all the medicine. Let's get this going. We see the magic and the cloak and dagger being the banned out. Now, cloak and dagger being banned out over potentially the lunar snow is actually a little unique, although I think we might see that more as we head into Season 1. We'll keep an eye out for that, as cloak and dagger I think is going to have a little bit more playtime there, especially with that extra dash. We're seeing a solo tank Venom being hovered by Ouroboros. Oh, let's get our disclaimers out the way. 1, you're seeing keyboard and mouse buttons, even though they're on console, because I am observing on PC, and the observer feature changes it automatically. They are, in fact, on console. They are not zimming. They are playing on controllers. And number 2, you will see bits of stutter every now and again in the early stages of matches. This is because I'm observing from Europe, and these games were played on Asia, and for some reason the observer feature does not like that very much, so therefore it can have a little bit of stutter, just like that. Thank you for the demonstration game. Let's introduce our players. Top D's, TTV on the Groot. MR Piglet playing the Mantis. One Phantom 1 on the Magneto. Notorious Don will be playing Lunar Snow. Crypts will be playing the Hela. And Obidi is going to be playing that Psylocke. They are OCE Yungins. And on the right, Ouroboros with O Silent playing that Hawkeye. Snuffy will be on the Lunar Snow. Haz is playing the Venom. Weird Wolf is going to be on that Mantis. Truxin being taken out on that Black Panther. And Big Red is going to be on the Psylocke. Random historical fact I know that not everyone watching might know, or maybe they do, and I'm about to sound really arrogant. Big Red, nickname for famous racing horse Secretariat. Little factoid I know about the history of horses, despite knowing literally nothing else about horses. So far, defense of Yungins getting pushed back. Has forced them all the way back into the doorway, meaning that that cart is pushing up very aggressively right off the bat here. They're trying to make it through the doorway, but they're getting zoned out pretty effectively here. The wall from Groot to try and keep them off the point here, but they've managed to make it past with the wraparound onto the point. Top D's trying to hold the line, but gets picked off immediately by O Silence. Weird Wolf trying to defend, but finally Truxin able to get a backline dive with that Black Panther. Crypts. Sorry, it was Crypts on the Black Panther, who was swapped off the Hela, by the way. Going for a bit of a backline dive themselves. Managing to force Ouroboros off the point. And Crypt into the backline. Spin kick with the dash. Trying to get in there. Slowed by Venom. Will break the connection, but is still targeted down and isolated from their team. Can't reach with the healing. They will be taken out here. Oh, Silence. Not leading the charge, but is certainly trying to whittle down those backline damage dealers if they can hit them. And if they take out the front line as well, that is still going to be good for them. They're taking out one. Does the butterfly from Big Red. Takes out Don and Mr. Piglet. And we will see the defense evaporate here as Ouroboros are going to take point number 1. Even able to take down OBD. OCE is going to be wrapping around here. Top D's. Going to be backing out a little bit. Playing defensive. Crypts up in the high ground, continuing to cause difficulties. Trying to punish OCE. Gets slept though. Crypts targeted down and picked off here. Top D's. Sending in the shots. Phantom, the Magneto, Meteor M into the back line. There's the Dance of the Butterfly as well, but it's countered out by the fate of both worlds. Mr. Piglet took down Trixon. Bit of an overlap here. Weird Wolf got that soul rejuvenation at the same time. But Snuffy got that fate of both worlds, so they did overlap them here. Meaning the Top D's is able to make a play like this with the straggling prison. Takes down Mantis, but gets stunned out by Luna, meaning that they don't have the damage to follow up here. In the meantime, Haz is zoning out the backline, buying time for Ouroboros, but they're still getting cleaned out here. With 3 minutes to go, we are seeing Yungins hold another defense, but already halfway through point 2, Ouroboros. This is not a bad situation for them. They have control. Group just chaining walls. Top D's trying to keep the zoning up. Holding the line for the moment. Getting protected. Dance of the Butterfly onto the backline. Fate of both worlds. Would have countered it if they hadn't split up and moved people out of the Fate of both worlds. 3 members go down. And Ouroboros continue to push forward. Haz is already deep in the backline, trying to zone, spots Crypts on the flank. OCE getting chased down. Does get taken out here. Obi able to pick that up. Obi gets taken down by Trixon though, as does Notorious Don. Trixon on this Black Panther in the backline, causing issues. Needs some healing, will be getting some. They have that Lunar Snow heal for the little bit of passive as long as someone else is taking damage. Snipes out Mr. Piglet, pushing forward, trying to get onto the backline. The spear was good, spin kick, and a bit of a disengage here. They can see Magneto, the group wall, kind of countering them out a little bit here, but they're still able to take out Phantom. OCE gets a double, Snoopy takes out Dom, and we are seeing Yungins disintegrate here. Mr. Piglet respawning quite far away. And they are now a little bit isolated. Going to have to take a bit of a wraparound to get back to their team, unless they get picked off here by Trixon, but they're able to back away. Top D's once again on the defense. Phantom has that Meteor M. Top D's in that last fight, used the Strangling Prison, but there was no one alive to follow up on it. Already getting eliminated here. Phantom holding it for now. Feast on the Abyss is all that's currently available for Ouroboros, but Vast Descent almost charged up, as is that Dance of the Butterfly. Speaking of which, counter Dance of the Butterfly from OBD into the back line, but will take out the front line. Gets Haz as Crypts grabs the double. Utilizing their own Vast Descent, Mr. Piglet grabs OCE. That's going to be a quadruple elimination. Yungins once again. They get a pick up here. Lovely wall to split the team in two. Double layering it, forcing Haz to take the far reach rotation. Team's going to retreat. Group back up. Excuse me. Obi in the backline. Haz diving in. Trixon taken down. Haz just taking through with the help of the healing. Meteor M into the backline. Takes out OCE and Snoopy. Doing huge work. Crypts grabs a double, but is taken out. Haz goes down. Trixon has swapped onto the Punisher, but is zoned out so far. They're big red as well. They're going to wait for their team. Regroup together. Dance of the Butterfly at the ready. Psychic Stealth by Big Red to try and rotate around. Were they spotted? They've definitely been spotted now. This is a bit of a distraction, though. It's giving time for the rest of the team to make their way in from the lower side. They found OCE. They're trying to turn onto it. Trixon taken out. Crypts again. Every time we look away from them, they're finding pickups. Crips waiting for people to rotate in. Takes a little bit of damage. Is picked off, though. We got the curse there. Fade both worlds. Allowing them to push up as best they can. Counter by Notorious. Getting the healing output with Final Judgment, trying to melt through, but they don't have the angle here to finish anyone. As such, Omi dropped low, but is already back up as they try to just burst through anyone they can reach here. Face from the Abyss has come out. Culling Turret on the low ground to try and find anyone, but everyone's already retreated back as Yungins are getting cleaned out here. Ouroboros pushing through Hunter's Sight to help finish them. Dive into the background by OBD, literally the only person up for their team. Grabbing the triple. This is buying them time. Nearly falls in the hole, but it's going to make their way back up. They bought time. They stood on the point. They got a triple. They now have time for the team to respawn, make their way in, and touch the point as Phantom is going to be the one holding it. But here come the members of Ouroboros as well, as Phantom's going to be focused down, tanking through. Excuse me. Crips onto the backline, took out Trixin. Top D's taking down by Big Red. The backline dive from these two teams is insane. Meteor M into the backline, but it's tagged through this time. Weird Wolf able to dodge it. Phantom is doing everything in their power to hold this. They have that Lunaso healing. Bastard said Notorious Don takes out one. Weird Wolf goes down to Phantom as they're trying to hold it. Dance on the butterfly. It's not enough. Big Red takes them out. Trixon is in the culling turret, trying to just clean out these defenders. Behind the wall, they take cover. Fate of both worlds will basically neutralize this turret. And the Groot Wall actually splits the team in two, giving the side of Yungins a little bit of space to try and deal with this one, having to deal with that Punisher. Gonna be backing out. Big Frenzied Assault into the Feast from the Abyss from Haz. And that might be it. Crips and Phantom are picking up the triple elimination. Make it a quad. Crips is on fire. OBD on the flank. Finds Own Silence. And they get the defense. 2 points, 86.51 meters. Nicely done.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
That last second attack from the Venom, very effective. Not enough to translate into anything. They got a lot of damage output, but they weren't able to finish anything. All right. Let's have a look at what any adjustments the teams make. Oh, we're definitely seeing at least one adjustment. We're seeing Haz moving off of that Venom onto the Penny on defense. And once again, Ouroboros, they stick with their solo front line. Now, we had a discussion about this. No, sorry, I stand corrected. It's just because the icon is grayed out. I thought that was someone else. We're going to be seeing Groot, so we are going both teams now. Adjusting it to the 2-2-2. Both teams with a Groot and both teams with a Spider. Difference is one of them is a symbiote Spider. Look at that. Groot Wall on the side. Now, not only does this maximize damage output for the Groot, because if anyone walks past it, they're going to get picked off here. OBD on the flank, going to get zoned out here. But Groot is in range of his walls, meaning they get a little bit of healing. Will be forced to retreat, though. Takes a little bit of damage. Will be backing out. Phantom has swapped off that Venom, by the way, moving back onto the Magneto. As they begin to creep forward. Haz already setting up this bionic spider nest for defense here. They're trying to melt through this. Those Groot walls make it a little bit difficult for Pennies to get the good angles here. Gets frozen. Is getting healed up. Big Red. No high ground positioning here, is fighting down in the trenches of everyone else. It's going to be Top D's who gets picked off first. The flags from Obi are causing quite a distraction at this point. Pneumatic Spider Nest is up. Giving them a little bit of space. Big Red up to the high ground, intimidating Aquatic Blessing. Dropping down to the low ground. Trying to find them there, but not able to find it. There we go with the wraparound. OBD taken out, as is Crypt. Crypt, by the way, back off of that Black Panther and onto the Hella. Top D's trying to tank through, but getting chased back and bullied out. Ouroboros holding quite far forward here. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. And they're being able to delay this, at least for the moment. It's a long walk back from this spawn. So here's, they definitely like to hold here. Frozen spawn. A little bit of extra damage and a slow. Meteor M from Phantom finds no one. There's a straggling prison, but it does not find anyone. In fact, both teams just tanking through this. Fate of both worlds with Notorious Don to try and hold through to force them to back out, as Trixid is the first to fall. Has getting sewn down a little bit there. There comes the Monic Spider Nest, but they are getting outnumbered. Where is their team? Are we going to Spider time? Spider Sweeper? They do, but they don't have the Monic Spider Nest now, so they're not going to be able to capitalize off that combo by expanding that web out. They're also not fighting on the point, meaning the point kept moving during all of that. They've been able to stop it with 3 meters and 69 centimeters to go, but they are taken down. They bought time for Trixid to make their way back in, but they are taken out as well. And you can see there how far back the spawn is as people went down before that second area. On their way back as fast as they can. But this is a big play for Yungins in this game, number 1 of this best of 5. Long rotations as that cart begins to make its way in. Piglet keeping the sustain for the team. Trixid has given up on that Groot and instead will be bringing out the Black Panther back to solo frontline. Into the back line, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of dive, loses 10 HP. Will get taken out, will get punished. Not enough pressure being applied to make room there. And now is left to solo frontline. Gets pulled in with the straggling prison. It's a massacre as Yungins smash through this second point. And already with 4 minutes remaining, that second point was fast. They are moving in now. They have 86 meters and 51 centimeters to go. Oh, Silence swapping over to the Moon Knight. We heard an Unk. There's a Jeff in play from Ouroboros, Trixid. Now, this actually isn't that weird. It's still going to synergize. They still have the synergy with that Lunar Snow. But Jeff is also the tankiest of the supports, especially in that diving under the water mode. Here comes Meteor M into the back line, able to stay upright, dropped low, tries to get out, but Yungins absolutely cleaned them up here. Ouroboros are getting cleaned out here. Fate of both worlds to buy them a little bit of time. Crypt is going to try and spawn camp here. Gets ugged, but the focus comes out. They will be taken out, but they delayed a little bit. Phantom is trying to hold down the front line. Give time for their team to make their way back in. Dars and the Butterfly from OBD onto the back line to try and clean them out. Weird Wolf gets a clean up. Trixid. It's Jeff. Takes out one. And Magneto in the hole. The Jeff, last moment swap, able to grab 2. The tankiness of Jeff working out a little bit in their favor here. The quick isolation. They know they have 2.5 minutes to go. They might get 1 more ult out of Jeff here, but that could be good. The backline assassin Jeff, sneaking underwater, poking the backline with that AoE damage and the slows from the team up with Lunar Snow. Oh, Silence taken out. Straggling prison as Jeff with the AoE is doing quite good damage back here. Will get focused down though and taken out, but they bought a little bit of time and a distraction as Ouroboros They're able to make their way into the point. Here comes the Porter Proteus doing good damage, but Phantom tagging through it. They've got the Soul Resurgence. They're pushing forward. Here comes Haz, swapping to Groot to try and buy them time. They need to make sure they're quite far forward. Here comes the Moon Knight with the extra damage from Silence. They are forced off the point at least for a second. Snuffy with the Fate of Both Worlds to try and push them through. The healing output is good here. It's 81.11. They're trying to force their way forward, trying to make it onto the point. Silence the first to fall. Phantom gets slept, being dropped low. Focus down. Shield to buy some time. They're giving it everything they can. Soul Resurgence is keeping the team up. Ouroboros are tagging through. Horde of Proteus about to charge. Fast descent into the backline by Crypts. Jeff has ult, as does the Namor. But they don't need to use it. They've got the quadruple. And now they save those ultimates. 1 minute remaining to get 5.5 meters. Trixen moving fast, being a distraction. Self-heal in this mode, the tankiness, very hard to deal with. Bubble for speed, so they can gank the backline! Both the strategists! Take him away, Jeff! Take him away, toys! OBD gets the double, Jeff gets the double. It's gonna be 3 for 1 in favor of Ouroboros. 3 for 2, make it 3 for 3 for 4 as Ouroboros are holding. They push them back. What a play! The last second Jeff swap. They make their way down. They send OBD into the abyss with 14 seconds to go. Phantom is focused down, forced to retreat, waiting. They have one last chance to push. Zoned out by a group wall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's overtime. Last ditch effort. All they've got now. Straggling Prison came out. Piglet with the Soul Rejuvenation to keep them going. Mr. Piglet trying to keep them in this game. As Snuffy is going to drop that Fate of Both Worlds to try and turn them around, to try and push on through. Has a Straggling Prison holding on to it until that Fate of Both Worlds expires to buy time and try and get the wombo to finish the job. Moon Knight, Straggling Prison, on a Proteus, Jeff! Jeff gets the eat. Into the abyss you go, and Ouroboros hold.
3.
Incredible first game. What a swap onto that Jeff. Ouroboros hold by 4 meters. Well-deserved MVP. That's absolutely going to be our first Jeff MVP in Pro Play in the bracket stage that I have cast. Excuse me, I'm very sick. Good lord. You can see there the healing numbers quite low, but the damage numbers, 19k. Not bad. That's the same as OBD on the Psylocke. Backline assassin rotating round, doing the slows with the team up from Lunar Snow, the damage output, and then sniping people off the point in the last moment. Huge shout out to the healers for both teams. Notorious Don, Mr. Piglet, Weird Wolf, Snuffy. All of them healing out of their minds this game. Trying to just keep these fights going as long as possible. Damage blocked. Top Ds. 66k damage blocked. 55k for Phantom. Only 50k for Haz. That is quite surprising, as they were solo tank for a lot of that game. Quite surprising here. 21k for Trixen, who did tank for a little bit of that game as well, so you will see that spread out a bit there. And also Jeff, again, absorbing quite a bit of damage. Speaking of damage, top damage in the game, 34k by Big Red. Padding those numbers, Haz with 31k. Really getting those numbers up. 22 eliminations. 22 final hits, sorry. 38 eliminations for Crypts. Topping out those numbers. Second place, Big Red with 19 final hits. 44 eliminations. Just really involved in all of their team's pickups here. All right. That's game number 1 of this best of 5. This match looks like it's going to be close. My poor throat Oh no! But we are here. We're going to have some fun games, ladies and gentlemen. If you're enjoying, please be sure to leave a subscription and turn on that bell icon so you can tell when these casts go live. If you become a member on YouTube, you'll be supporting me directly, as I do not get paid by Marvel. I only get money from YouTube monetization. In this case, it is YouTube AdSense revenue. The YouTube Premium members like yourselves on YouTube, like Jazz Prime, our current only member. Big shout out to Jax. I also get money from Super Thanks. So thank you to everyone who has been doing the Super Thanks, aka the one person who has so far done a Super Thanks. But that is the only way I really get monetarily support to keep doing this, releasing a video every day despite being sick most of the time. So currently, all YouTube money is going to cold medication. Woohoo! Love that! My throat feels like sandpaper. Let's go! But you need to enjoy it. And of course, leave a comment. Let people know you're enjoying it. And if you want to make it extra algorithm friendly, I won't say no. If you want to say, wow, this game was so good, really makes me want to buy a Jeff plush and go to the new Marvel movie. I don't know what's in the algorithm right now. Look up trending terms on Google and see how you can fit into a message. This is so scummy. I'm going on break. See you next map as we get prepared for map number 2 in this best of 5.
Obsession, I will not stop, no I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex, haters love to hate but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason, I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing, straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason I'll run this nation. They call me a
And here we go, it is map number 2 in this best of 5. Ouroboros currently hold the lead 1-0 and have moved over to the left-hand side with OCE Yungins on the right. Burn into T'Challa is where we are heading, and it is Domination. Going to be seeing the Loki removed from play. As is the Doctor Strange, so far we're sticking the exact same. Will we see similar lock-ins? Last time it was Psylocke and Hela. There's the Psylocke. Now for Yungins. Do we see that Hela secure? No! Cloak and Dagger secured. Last time it was banned out. Third ban. What is worth removing here? No third ban. Yungins either AFK or wish to just leave options open here. Kind of surprised we don't see a Jeff ban. It is Hela who will get removed this time. Last time was protected. This time is banned away. This does leave Black Panther up, which both teams did utilize a little bit. Trixen, the magic this time. Black Panther is available, but they decide to mix it up a little bit here. Top D's immediately back onto that Groot, and has, starting off on their preferred preference by the looks of it, the Venom. We do know they're a very good Groot as well, though, so we might see a swap onto that later on. Oh, Silenced Hawkeye, once again, left available. Ouroboros, they like this playstyle. They love the triple duelist playstyle. While it didn't work for them versus Hope, they're still trying to make it work here in the lower bracket. Yungins, currently 0-1 down. They are sticking with that double front line. Let's see how they start this up. Top D's has the opportunity to do something very funny here, but nope, they're just going to hang out by the door. There is, of course, the opportunity to try and trap someone in this center area. Winter Soldier for OBD. They were hovering onto that Psylocke earlier, but deciding against it. And yep, has swapped off of the Venom and is now on the Groot.
All you need to do is capture the mission area.
Warrior Falls is our first round in this second map here. As Has swaps off the Groot, rotates back onto the Venom, and is going for a heck of an aggressive rotation. Phantom also on the Venom. Big wall set up. But now Has just tanking through, getting good damage there, zoning out Phantom, winning the 1v1 with the help of their team poking from the side. Gets blinded though, shield drops at the last moment, retreats back to their team, drops low, swing up to the high ground, Frenzy's Assault, misplayed, hits a wall, and now they're in a little bit of trouble. Has a little bit isolated here as Silence gets taken down. The dive, trying to get onto them with that Black Panther as Crypt dives in, and somehow Has actually comes out of this alive. Still getting healed up by the team, going in onto top from behind. Focus down, shield is good. Jump pad, giving them a little bit of protection. Frenzied arrival. They want to try and get Black Panther, and they can take out Crypt. That's a huge chunk of damage isolated here. Magic, Trixon on the side as well, joining up to try and help out as Has survived yet another engage. Creeps onto the backline, trying to take out Silenced once again. Will get so. Big Red gets OBD. Trixon not finding any really good angles as of yet, but here comes the Dance of the Butterfly, trying to get onto top D's, taking them down. Mr. Piglet respawning. Phantom finally bursts through here. The Venom, the enemy Venom also not getting taken out, as Crypt will be dashing away. Trixon really wants to try and take him down though, chasing deep. Not able to find the finishing blow here, stepping discs to avoid damage, removing themselves from play for small periods of time to avoid shots. Terrain transformation quite early here. Here comes the Eternal Bond from Mr. Piglet. Pre-buff, by the way. We are on patch 0, so only 3 dashes. Still able to get a pretty good triangle onto this area, get a nice covering. Mr. Piglet slept, but still healing, tanking through. So many ultimates getting burned here. Snuffy and Notorious, both with the fate of both worlds. Trying to hold through, trying to tank through. We have the Dark Child, Feast from the Abyss, held by Phantom, so they have it as an emergency tool here to try and get a little bit of extra damage. Silence, first to fall in this fight. Dark Child, trying to burst through more members here. Finds Notorious Don, diving in deep, trying to take out Phantom on that Venom. Phantom just choosing to save their ultimate for later. Mr. Piglet goes down, and we see Ouroboros take control of the point, 62% to 40 right now. They're holding on to it for now. But Yungins, they took it in the first engage. There's very little saying that they can't do so again. Silence currently only ultimate available for Ouroboros. Getting some great damage. Feast from the Abyss with Dance of the Butterfly, cleaning them up. Yungins evaporating Ouroboros, stepping disc to buy time. Crypts will go down to Big Red. It's a 2 elimination here. Yungins, they were looking amazing, but the sudden turnaround here. Big Red on the point, trying to buy time, utilizing that extra team up ability with the magic for their own little stepping disc. Dropping some good damage. The double shuriken dash. Trying to get onto Phantom. They get it with Silence. And at 99%, no one on the point. Ouroboros take round 1. An insane first engage, getting a triple elimination with that Face in the Abyss and Dance of the Butterfly. But OCE Yungins, they just weren't able to finish off anyone else. Everyone who survived that initial engage, they suddenly had no tools, and they got turned on. As such, Ouroboros, 1 round away from putting themselves on match point here.
Before you attack, get ready.
Do we see any adjustments out of OCE Yungins? Phantom
How strange.
of the Magneto, but we've seen a lot of swaps before maps start from these teams. So we'll see if this makes it out the door.
Telepathic intrusion. One can never be too safe.
So I have learned. This world is full of dangers.
The Helm protects against telepathic intrusions. We are aware of this, which begs the question. Will Magneto be automatically immune to Professor Xavier when he's released into the game? We will have to see. And or the Juggernaut, if they ever make it in, which they should. Low ground rotation for Ouroboros. Yungins choosing to take the high ground. Going to be wrapping around Crypts. Looking for a potential drop and engage here. Groot immediately straggling Prison. They wombo right off the bat here. Buster sent out the ready, not even used there. They're able to take down no one, though, thanks to the protection from Weird Wolf. Oh, Silenced grabs the double, and Yungins once again land a wombo, and other one's punished. What a freeze! Oh my god! Snuffy! Gonna jump off of that.
My blades.
Insane counter. Soul rejuvenation from Weird Wolf into the counter engage. Oh, Silence picking up the double. The freeze from Snuffy, shutting down the Bastard Set to try and get some finishing blows. And we are seeing Crypts. They are realizing that Black Panther is not going to work here. They have moved onto the Punisher, which immediately double shotgun onto the Dark Child. Trixin is eliminated. And Yungins trying to utilize this moment to take the high ground and see if they can siege down the members here. Oh, Silence though. Hunter's Sight. Doing good damage. You can't just drop down. Your ghosts are absolutely arrowable. Big Red. Poking away. Doing good damage. Dancing the Butterfly bought them a little bit of time. Ouroboros tagging through. Goes down. Obi, Dazzling the Butterfly, Silenced, and Has both removed here. Diving even further, trailing it onto the strategists. Big Red took down Mr. Piglet though while they were diving deep. Their team is getting pressured on the back line. Trixin's back here as well. On that magic, getting work, takes out Trix. Weird Wolf is down, but Big Red and Trixin are still going. Great straggling Prison, but where's the damage? No follow-up once again. Top D's has been landing incredible straggling Prisons over and over again. But their team has not been able to finish them. The engages are good, but where is the finishing blow? Big pickup for Trixin. Oh, Silent gets top D's as well. Deep in the backline, Mr. Piglet forced to phase to get out of danger there. Still getting chased though. Not letting them go down without a fight. There comes the fate of both worlds to buy time. Meteor M from Phantom as they are getting focused down. Picked off here by Silence. Trixin zoning out the rest. Ouroboros. They take the second round as well. And Ouroboros 2-0 in this best of 5. A dominant performance so far. 1 win away. This was so much more dominant than round 1. Game 1, was a completely different game to this one. But Ouroboros, full control this time. 15 final hits, 25 eliminations for Big Red. They take the MVP, well deserved here. 15k damage, highest in the game by a solid 5k. Top damage blocked, 23k by Top D's, gave it their best. Phantom also out-tagged Has. The lack of tags not so far being a problem for Ouroboros. Healing numbers. Mr. Piglet and Notorious Dad out healing by 3 to 4k. over their contemporaries on the other side. Not a huge amount to talk about that game. Last second Spider-Man swap, though. I do like that to try and get onto the point as fast as possible. But the backline pressure. I like the swap from OBD onto the Namor. If you're getting Dove, Namor's a great pickup because you've got those summons that are constantly attacking opponents, making it more punishing to dive a backline. I just think it might have been too late. Let's see if they can adjust it, though. It's not over yet. But one more win needed for Ouroboros to take them on to the next round, onto lower bracket round 12, which I believe is the lower bracket quarterfinals. Nope, it is lower bracket round 12. Then after that, it's the quarterfinals. Or can OCE Yungins pull off the reverse sweep? The pressure is on as we get set up for map number 3.
Give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant. You wanna cross me, cool, not intelligent. Cause I don't forget shit like an elephant. Go ahead and tempt me, put it on the line and you'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready. I got a hand real steady. Look me in the eye and you'll see no hezzy. About to get real messy. I'll put you in a grave 6 feet like Kenny. Taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take a new song. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing. All here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me.
It is time for map number 3, OCE Yungins. Excuse me. Their backs are against the wall. Ouroboros, one win away from lower bracket round 12. Psylocke once again gets secured. Bans exactly the same so far. Loki and the Strange. Cloak and Dagger once again gets banned away. It comes back around. No, sorry, getting secured. God, I always do that every game. I've been doing this for like at least like approaching 60 games. And I still make that same mistake. Incredible. Fantastic job, Chris. 10 out of 10. Magic and Black Panther getting banned out. Backline burst. Finally getting targeted. Also, we have a bit of a swap out here. Chris Lammy will be making their way in for OCE Yungins. Let's see if this new player, this influx of ability, is going to make the difference. Let's have a look at the rosters. Trixin bringing out the Iron Man. Very flexible player here. I am busy, but thank you. Thank you for offering.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
The Iron Man coming out here. There's the Jeff. We've seen them tank. We've seen them play the Jeff as a sort of backline assassin and healer and damage dealer and sniper of people. We've seen them play some more tanky players. We've seen them play Hover Iron Man. Whereas OCE Yungins, they are also going to go for triple damage this time, removing their second frontliner. The new player, Chris Lammy, is going to be playing Winter Soldier. Looks like Trixin is bringing out the Jeff at the start here. No last second swap to it like last time. You got that little bit of stutter, as we know. Can't fit through the cap. Flanking the backline. They do have the Lunar Snow here, so they get the AoE slows. Getting focused down, though, very aggressively. Will pop under the water, though, under the ground. A little bit of protection, bubble for speed, pressure, backline dive with the help of Haz, and the backline is evaporating here. But in the meantime, their team is getting zoned off the point here. Now on to Lammy, but Lammy takes them down there. Notorious on their way back from spawn. Chris Lammy going on to the backline, looking to apply some pressure. Tries to go for the bionic hook, unable to find it, gets sedated down to the low ground and taken out here. Top D's though is holding the line. Yungins do have the position right now. Setting up the walls, zoning away, trying to get Silence off the point. Silence on the low ground, very risky here. Healing coming in from the cloak and dagger to keep him up. Jeff on the flank, causing issues. Big Red is down. Mr. Piglet with the Eternal Bond sets up that objective area as being very difficult for them to push into. But Haz is still trying to tank this, giving time for their team, but with Silence and Snuffy down, this will likely be an elimination with 23! Finally taken out by Crypts. Crypts grabbing a double there, in fact, as Yungins, 61% already, basically untouched by Ouroboros. Making their way in. Weird Wolf. Poking away. Good damage output. Silenced. Couple good hits, and this could be a game changer here. There's comes the Venom into the backline with the Feast from the Abyss. Gets Strangling Prison, but counter pickup onto Crypt. Top D's took out Big Red. Damage dealer for damage dealer. Fate of both worlds coming out from the Lunar Snow as they try to push on in. Trying to make their way in. Counter from the enemy Lunar Snow. Notorious is trying to hold it. Jeff finds no one with the It's Jeff. And suddenly they're getting focused down in trouble. Chris Lammy dropped a Kraken impact, but there's no one. No resets available. Forced back. Isolated. Yungins losing members on overtime. Big Red with the Dance of the Butterflies dropped low, and they get the double. It's gonna be Yungins forced off the point at 99%, and Ouroboros get their first percentage on the board. Even able to find Crypts. Skull Kid off to the side. Yungins, they need a regroup here. Regroup, reset. Lot of harass coming in. The double flank here. Yungins have split their composition up a little bit. Chris Lammy takes a little bit of damage, but will back up. Obi off to the side, gets punished. Trying to flank, caught out of position, gets 2v1. Down goes Haz though. Also isolated. Trixon is down. Silenced. Dropped low. Trying to get some damage out. It's a big hit onto Top D's, but is taking too much damage from Crypt. There's a Strangling Prison. Big Red also caught in it. And that's going to be... Eventually? Nope, Big Red got out. Gonna make their way back onto the point. Frenzied arrival. Face from the Abyss takes out OBD and Mr. Piglet. But Big Red finally went down to Crypt. Chris Lammy got Trixon as well, meaning that Haz is down one more healer. But they're still gonna give it everything they can. They don't have their shield. In fact, they did. They just used it as they focus down and take out Top D's. Kraken impact. Slammy. Any pickups? No resets. Again, chased down by Haz. 60%. Yungins, they are seeing their hopes slowly get pulled away. Starting to run a little low. on time to make their way back in as we are at 80%. Big pressure. OBD takes out Snuffy. That's the fate of both worlds removed. Counter. It's Jeff. This could be their only chance. Trying to find the right angle. Got only one. There's a Star-Lord in play right now, but Jeff taken out before they can get the combo off. Crypt has taken to the sky with the Goddess of Death to try and get some counter damage off as Yungins are trying to hold through this overtime. OBD got Weird Wolf. Crypt gets frozen, but the numbers heavily in favor of Yungins right now. Dazzle the Butterflies. Fate of both worlds being traded out, trying to force back Snuffy off the point. They've done so. Here comes Venom, face from the abyss with the last seconds of play left. Oh, Silenced is wiped out immediately, meaning it's basically down to Haz to try and tank to buy time, but they are so outnumbered. Yungins take the round. Heading into round two, Yungins refusing to go down without a fight. Ouroboros need 2 rounds to move on to the next round here. Yungins,
30 seconds before you
they basically can't afford to lose at all. They can lose one more round here and be okay. And then, of course, next games come around if there's more domination. You all know what I'm talking about. But they're still going to give it their all.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission.
In terms of
area.
character
Got it?
swaps, Big Red
I'd rather make music.
moving on to the Namor, and Trixon will be taking over that Psylocke here. Crypt's already doing quite a bit of damage on this low ground. The flank from Trixon being a menace, being a pain, but it's causing quite the distraction. OBD took out Haz while both the damage dealers are distracted. OBD takes a little bit of damage once again as they re-arrive back, but Big Red outnumbered with no front line. They just run on past the risk of running a single Vanguard. Chris barely gets out of there. Oh, Silence finding targets. Astral Flock denied by the terrain there. Sending shots down range. Tainted Shock will land. A little bit of counter damage. Haz was taken out again. Respawning as Trixon picked off to the side as well. And Yungins taking control. And you're seeing that they're starting to melt through Haz so quickly. Haz finally going to be swapping it round here. Weird Wolf with the Soul Rejuvenation to try and protect the team from the Dazzle the Butterflies as Big Red took out Top D's. OBD down. Oh, Silence with the counter by Crypts. But this is giving a little bit of time for Ouroboros to try and step onto the point. Haz with that Groot to give them a little bit more tankiness, to give their team more potential, more time. Here comes Chris. Again, Kraken Impact. No resets. Not one this entire series.
Amazing. I wish I could do what you do.
Ouroboros take control. As Yungins forced to back up and reset. They have Straggling Prison, they have the Goddess of Death, and they have the Fate of both worlds.
I am ready to put on a show.
Has Straggling Prison, which is dropped here. Straggling Prison by Top D's, trying to trap everyone, but the Fate of both worlds counters it. Order Proteus blocked completely, finds no one. Oh, Silence already taken down to no Goddess of Death from the side of Ouroboros, but Crypt got theirs. Chris Lammy gets Snuffy, and in the backline, Crypt finds Weird Wolf. Obi got Haz. They're trying to get onto Big Red. They get him with top Ds. Crypt grabs Trixin as well. 44 to 69, currently in favor of OCE Yungins.
Why would I need healing?
They're holding for the moment. If they take this, they'll have the map and be back in this series. Giving it the best they can. Trying to buy time. Soul Siphon was used there for a little bit of extra. Here comes the Goddess of Death from Silence. Immediately onto Crypts. Astral Flock had to be used. Luna Snow trapped in the corner, but is able to back away. He's not getting caught out. Krasami took out Trixin. Has wiping out top Ds. Tanking through the groove swap is working for them. 99 to 47 right now as Ouroboros have taken control of the point once again. Trying to wall anyone off, trap them so they can get the pick up. Astral Flock once again. And Crypts barely escapes. Big Red looking on the flank because they know that OBD is hanging out, waiting to find isolated members. Big Red maximizing damage output. There's a Dazzle the Butterfly with the flank from OBD. Trying to get onto the back line. Takes out Windwolf, and that's about it. Now we'll back up to rejoin their team. Focus down, though. Down goes Haz. Taking through it. Yungins on the reset. They've taken back control on overtime with the triple. And who is left to defend this? Here comes the fate of both worlds. Snuffy is literally just buying time right now, hoping that one of the damage dealers can pick something up. But Crypts has taken to the sky, forces them off the point, and that's going to be the double for OCE Yungins. They take map number 3 and are back in this series.
Another epic victory. Big win.
Solid performance there. OCE Yungins. Crypts with 22 final hits, 33 eliminations, topping the damage chart by 3k. A much more convincing setup this time. 20k healing on both healers, 21 for Mr. Piglet. Beating out Snuffy, the highest on the side of Ouroboros, by 3k. And top damage blocked, also being taken by OCE Yungins. 38k, 5k more than Haz. This was a convincing win. And a lot of that is definitely down to Crypts. I think we'll probably start to see Hela getting banned out again. It is still match point for Ouroboros, but OCE Yungins are back in it. They've shown signs of life. The heartbeat has started. But it's all about that rehabilitation. The therapy. The hard work is yet to come. Let's see if they can do it. OCE Yungins, 1 win on the board. Ouroboros still on match point. More to come in map number 4. Don't go anywhere. Or do and just pause the video. It's fine. You're watching on YouTube. You can do whatever you want. Love you. Back in a sec.
I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough as
I'm back, you know that I never left. I got tracks and some music that you never guessed. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got hard. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking.
Shibuya is map number 4, ladies and gentlemen, as we are heading in. Ouroboros on the right, they will be starting on attack. Yungins will be on the left, they will be starting on defense. Wow, these bands look familiar. But what about the protections? There's the Hela. Yep, Yungins. It keeps being let through, they're just going to keep doing it. Ouroboros. Psylocke going to be protected once again. So now Black Panther and Magic once again left up. These were the bans last game. Cloak and Dagger getting taken out by Ouroboros this time. And there goes the Magic. So Black Panther left available. The Magic
The right heroes could make all
being
the
believed
difference.
to be the bigger problem. Crypts, of course, going to be moving on to that Hela. Looks like almost the exact same drafts as last time. Oh, we got another new player. Gyan YMS 15. Hello, Gyan. Welcome. They're going to be playing the Magneto. So, double frontline is the reaction of Ouroboros. Finally, moving away from their triple damage setup, they've decided, you know what? Might be time to throw some beef at it. And they're going to give it a go.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds.
Yungins.
Stay strong.
They, on the other hand, are still sticking with the triple damage. A strategy, triple damage, that has proven to be wholly unsuccessful in basically every other region of pro play at the highest level.
The worst monster
Picked
of all.
almost never,
The battle
almost
starts in
only
5,
ever as a
4,
counter.
3, 2, 1.
But Asia on PC seems to be the home of triple damage compositions. So, immediately, top D's. A little bit of damage, wall up. It gets healed up immediately, but it slows down the push at least a little bit. Top D solo tanking. Lot of pressure on him as Crypt grabs Big Red.
I need assistance.
But, what? Oh, okay, here we are. Crypt's gonna be getting focused down, chased by Black Panther and Venom. Can't really get more scary than that, but OBD picks up the Black Panther. Trixon's taken out, and we're gonna force Haz to swing away, meaning Crypt has all the freedom in the world to take down another. Magneto gets wiped out here, and Haz finally eliminated on the backline by OBD. And Yungins
Focus on the battle.
holding a very nice defense so far at 0%.
Our enemies are here.
Top D's taking a little bit of damage, but still trying to hold this anchor rotation, forcing people to step up onto them. Wall, split the team in two, focus onto the Venom, but does not isolate him from all the healing. Damage output still coming in there. You see the walls joining in the attack as they try to fight past them. Asleep. Buying a little bit of time. Trixon. Wrapping around. Trying to flank, but getting caught on terrain. OBD.
Chin up.
Trying to spot that Black Panther on the wraparound. Gyan, also mixing it up, has now brought out the Jeff. Taking a page out of Trixon's book here. Nice pickup. Max Rage onto Mr. Piglet. Ouroboros. Starting to get a little bit of momentum, but they're very split. There's the fate of both worlds coming in as they push onto the point, but it's being held, at least for the moment, by Notorious Don. Fate of both worlds. Delaying it through. Here comes Crypt into the air with the Goddess of Death. Has trying to find isolated members. Yungins for the defense. Trying to hold, trying to delay, and they are getting it. Top D's and Crypt getting one each. They've held the line. They push them back. 1 minute, 17 seconds left. They did burn Soul Rejuvenation and utilized their Fate of both worlds to defend that, but they still have Straggling Prison and Kraken Impact, meaning there may be a chance for them to get the finishing blows here. Crypt zoning them out. Ouroboros, looking at them, they've got that does of the butterfly, as does OBD on the side of Yungins, and they have the It's Jeff. Everything else is 50% or lower. They're still going to try and make the play. The walls make it very hard for Jeff to get the angles here. It's Jeff. Only grabs their friendly Mantis. That is rough. So instead, diving onto Chris Lammy, which they do get here. Top D's chasing back the aggressive Mantis. Able to get the pickup. It's a 2 for 2 currently. Point being held on the first tick here. Top D's getting healed, tranking through Has, forcing them back. The damage output is good. They're grouped up, meaning that it might be time for Straggling Prison. Finds no one. They dodge it. In fact, no, they actually got a pickup with it. They eliminated 2, which is why no one was pulled in. It's a quadruple elimination. Ouroboros shut down on 0%.
0, 2, 0.
And Yungins,
Things up, including which
they may be about to lock in and even up the map score.
you'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Do we see any adjustments? Is Jeff being abandoned? Gaian hovering Magneto. Trixin is moving on to the Groot. Groot, Magneto, and Has moving over to Moon Knight. This is so interesting by Ouroboros. They were doing well. They were winning the first 2 matches with their own special style of play. But now when they lose once with it, it feels like it's been abandoned. And now they're back to a 2-2-2, a play style that we almost never see them
30
use.
seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Trixin. Onto the Iron Man. There we go. We're back onto triple damage. There we go. Back to what we know they play. But the question is, would it have been smarter to stick with the 2-2-2?
Guess what I can do?
Have Yungins just got it figured out? Is their triple duelist showing up to be stronger?
The battle starts in
Iron Man, Hela,
4,
Moon Knight.
3, 2,
That is good on the damage output as you can with Gaian. Going to be holding down the line with Magneto. Solo front line Groot for Yungins to try and break the defense here. Groot, of course, the perfect counter to Magneto. Not for any mechanical reasons, he just made of wood and there's no metal. Taking a little bit of damage. Top D's pressuring forward, trying to get into that backline, trying to make space. Chris spotting Big Red up on the high ground, not able to find the right angle as of yet. Trix already taken down. Big Red, great damage there with the help of Has. They take out Top D's, finding OBD on the backline, forcing them to back away. Not able to find the finishing blow here. Crips finds Has off to the side. Big Red taking out Mr. Piglet. Ouroboros taking the advantageous position at this early stage. The first third is what is needed by Yungins to even up this map score. It's about as good as you can possibly get it. Unibeam, quick pickup, grouped up members of Yungins, caught out, burst down. Once again, Trixin taken out though. A little unsure about this Iron Man, honestly. I love Iron Man, don't get me wrong. But you're against triple damage and all 3 of them can hit you in the air pretty easily. Top D's though, also suffering from the high damage output of Ouroboros. Down goes Crypts. Chris Labby doing good damage, but ignoring the UG. Finally, someone else takes it down. Damage output. Pretty effective. Everyone hiding behind the wall. And Trixin, I talk about the Iron Man, but when we see that Invincible Pulse Cannon, that could be the game-winning play if they're able to use it on defense. They're up to 71% charge at the moment. Meteor M coming in from Guyane, picks up the double. Nicely done as Ouroboros going for another hold. D's tagging through with the help of the Fate of Both Worlds, but we're going to be seeing Snuffy using theirs a little bit later to buy some time. There comes the hand of Khonshu to clean up once again, and Ouroboros hold one more time. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. What do Yungins have left in the tank? They have 5 ultimates is what they have. Missing potentially the most important one though, the Fate of Both Worlds, but they do have Soul Rejuvenation. So they have one big team fight ultimate. And then huge AoE damage. Speaking of which, here it comes! Straggling Prison, catching only Guyane, but the Dance of the Butterfly on the backline is good. Invisible Pulse Cannon came out, found no one. Fate of Both Worlds is not active. The point is taken.
2-0.
I lost track of everything that's going on there. That's rare for me. That was 5 ultimates being activated almost at the same time, and I super lost track. Yungins take the point. They've evened up the map score 2-2. Healing done. 13k by Mr. Piglet. 4k more than anyone else in the game. MVP, top D's, tanking through 20k healing, almost double anyone else in the game. Putting on quite the performance. 9 final hits, 15 eliminations, 8 final hits, 13 eliminations. Crypts and OBD making it happen. Although OBD was out-damaged by Chris. We gotta bear in mind, we did not see all of the potential bionic hooks that Chris Slammy landed. The damage output was good. You can see they were applying pressure onto Big Red at times. Speaking of which, Big Red and Weird Wolf getting the most final hits on their team. 11 eliminations for Big Red, 6 for Weird Wolf. Top damage in the game. Actually going over to Big Red. 8,900. 700 more than Has. Showing a little bit of their flexibility as well, moving off the tank. But this means we are now on to a match point for both teams. It is 2-2 in this best of 5. OCE Yungins have pulled off an incredible comeback, meaning that they are now in a position to try and move on to the next round. And Ouroboros, all that momentum has been shut down. They need to stop, breathe, and reset if they want to move on to the lower bracket round 12. Let's see if they can do it as we get set up for map number 5, ladies and gentlemen. See you all in a moment.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
And here we are. Map number 5 of our lower bracket round 11. Loser is eliminated and will have to try again in season 1. Winner moves on, and their hopes of fighting their way into those grand finals remains alive. Hela finally banned away, which means Doctor Strange has made it through the ban phase. Loki going to be banned away once again. Cloak and Dagger protected, as is Magic this time. Do we ban Strange again? Yes, they do. So Ouroboros swapping their order around a little bit this time. And Psylocke getting taken out here.
Pick a hero.
Big Red immediately busting out the Namor. Chris Lammy looking at that Winter Soldier one more time. OBD with a Namor. With Lunar Snow in play. Why not? That magic, of course, going to be picked up by Trixin. And Crips has once again been allowed onto that Black Panther. Top D's is currently hovering the Thorn. As we head into Hell's Heaven. Let's see who comes out on top. Both teams have once again gone back to what they seem to like. Solo frontline,
Before you attack, get
double
ready.
strategist, triple duelist, the poor vanguards. Top D swapping back to Groot. The team's used to it at this point. They've been locked in on the same strategy basically the whole time they've been doing this comeback. Top D's gonna stick with it.
Starts in 5, 4,
Bit of a mix-up here, by the way. Oh, hang on, no, Ouroboros. They're mixing it up. Gaian decides to lock in the third strategist, Ouroboros. We got Weird Wolf on the Mantis, Gaian on the Cloak and Dagger, and Snuffy bringing out the Lunar Snow. Let's see if this lets them lock in, as Has diving in deep right off the bat. Pressure onto Chris Slammy. Swinging into the back line. Dives, tries to hit the strategist, but instead ends up in the middle, turning off the Top D's. Good damage output. Tanking through. The healing output with triple support is going to be doing work for them as Big Red protects the backline and tries to pile on that damage. Trixin, a lot of pressure going to be on them here to try and take out those squishy backline damage dealers. Trying to chase down Crypt, in fact. Dodges the bionic hook there. A little bit of stutters, as we've come to expect. OBD took out Has, though. Meaning that Trix is like Trixin is going to be the one taking the rest of that damage. And it is enough. It's going to be a team wipe. Big pickups for OCE Yungins. They take position. You can see they did use the Eternal Bond there. Set that ground up for some healing and damage. Ouroboros got 17% before they were forced off here, but Yungins won the first team fight. Groot trying to separate Has away from the team.
deep freeze.
Big Red chasing back. Trying to make sure that they have that follow for the team, but instead they're going to be the one who is chased down. Aquatic Blessing being used here. Eternal Bond to give them the space to make their way out to the point. Feast from the Abyss for a little bit of extra damage output.
I am ready
For the
to
Proteus. Quick start out onto Trixin and Has in the backline. Fate of both worlds from both supports coming in. On a Proteus onto the backline. Stuns out Tom Stees and Chris Lammy, who has that Kraken impact but is holding onto it as they will back away.
mission area.
Waiting at least for that Lunar Snow ult to finish up, and now waiting for the tank to rejoin them. The damage output's good, but they're not finishing anyone. Top D's on their way back from spawn. OBD on the flank, but caught by the Mantis, will be slept. Takes a bit of damage as well. Mr. Piglet desperately trying to heal the team as once again, Tricks into the backline. In and out, already healed back up to full, has Darkchild pressuring the backline. Also at the top D's a little bit. Retreats back to the team, gets healed up. Kraken impact, Darkchild being utilized. If Kreslami goes down, there will be no Kraken impact as they push on in, doing huge damage to this backline, but they don't want to dive behind the wall where they could have all of their healing denied from them. They're just going to let that expire. They found Crips, but that's about it. Kreslami, Soldier's Fist. They're holding this ultimate for so long. When do they drop it? Here comes the Eternal Bond. Bardic Hook onto hands. They swing away immediately. Gaiad with an Eternal Bond of their own. Chris being so patient with this, and they get taken out by a Trixton, dying once again. Haz and Gaiad chasing them down. Crips trying to find an angle to get on here. 97%. Ouroboros. Overtime is touched. But they lose OBD, and now it's just Crips. Looks like they're probably just going to let this one go. Good positioning. Nice, safe capture there. As we head to Super Soldier Factory. This could be it. Ouroboros. Seizing back momentum. Reclaiming control. And Yungins on the brink of elimination once again. Still holding on to this Kraken impact. They have Fate of both balls. Kraken impact, Strangling Prison, Horde of Proteus, and Blast Descent. Ouroboros. They have Soul Rejuvenation, Feast from the Abyss, Fate of both worlds, and Horde of Proteus. 4 to 5 in favor of Yungins in terms of ultimates. And the teams roll out. Ouroboros looking to lock in and close this out, moving on to the next round. Has good pressure onto Top D's. Once again, the healing output is really solid. Top D's with the counter tankiness. Crypts looking for the back line. Finds no one. Blast Descent though gets the double. Finally finding one. Looks for more, and that is the back line absolutely removed here by Crypts. And Yungins will definitely take the first point here. Has just swinging away. Frenzy the rival to make sure they get that map heal. Bionic Hook, focus down, Soldier's Fist, Kreslami on the flank here. And Yungins have taken the first point. Tated Shock, a little bit of extra pressure. Soldier's Fist, that was a beautiful Bionic Hook. Soldier's Fist, Tricks, and taken out by Notorious Don. Taking out the Frozen Spawn and the Aquatic Dominion. Sorry, Oceanic Dominion. Synonyms taking out Weird Wolf. Kreslami playing a completely different game this time. On the flank, finding the pigs. Isolations. Hook. Doesn't find it this time as Darkchild coming in from Trixton onto the backline. Takes out Snuff. Takes out Kreslami. Once more, blinded by Mr. Piglet. Able to find the pickup, but with 21 health, they are taken out. OBD is trying to flank. 57% currently for Yungins, but they've lost 2 members. Ouroboros with the numbers advantage right now. They will force Yungins off the point. And Ouroboros begin the countdown clock on Yungins' elimination. And on Ouroboros' ascension to the next round. Kreslami poking away as best they can. Crypt on the flank, looking to try and see if they can find the right angle. OBD on the high ground. On a Proteus into the backline. Has stunned, hooked, face from the abyss for some damage onto the backline to try and buy the team a little bit of extra time. They get the shield out as they will pull on back to protect their backline. Kraken impact finally used. They got a reset, but they don't find the other one. They will take a big red though, almost certainly able to find it, but they did not tap them. Therefore, no reset. OCE Yungins, they retake the point. Crypts grabbed has 72%. Crypts on the hunt. Not going to dive in too deep though. Spin kick gets out of there as Chris Slammy found Snuffy sniffing around. 84%. Yungins, they need this round in order to even it up and keep themselves in for charge. There's the fast descent. Omi takes out Has, and no one is close to the point. They're all trapped in this entrance area, getting focused down. Overtime will get tapped thanks to Trixon, but there's no one to follow up with them. They've zoned out Has with the group walls to force that overtime, and that's gonna be Yungins evening up the round. It all comes down to Frozen Airfield. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. All there is left to do is fight. Fight for your place in the tournament. Fight for your place in the lower bracket round 12. Who will emerge victorious? OCE Yungins from the lower bracket. Ouroboros from the upper bracket being knocked down here. Ouroboros are favored, but Yungins, they're bringing it back. The swap. Ouroboros. They remove the Venom, and has brought out the Penny. Is this the missing piece? Is this what they need? No rollout strats for speed. These pulls not working out for him here. Getting caught on terrain a little bit. Nice stun though. Onto top D's as Trixon is able to pressure up. Nest already taken down, but they still have that hologram nest, that hologram web here. Give them the position they need. Root walls, make it a little bit harder. Horde of Proteus right off the bat. That's a pickup. Has and Big Red take it out too, with Gaian making it a triple. Ouroboros are about to take full control at this early stage. Nice stun out there. Crypt is chased down. This is big. Ouroboros have position. They've set up the webs. They're not setting up the mines though. Why is Has not using the mines? Sent out a stun again. Down goes the nest. Has focused down. Good stun once again, but they get him in a straggling prison anyway. That's a wombo. Taking out 3 as Chris is pushing in deep. Kraken impact. Finds only 1, but look at Weird Wolf playing so mobile. And there's no reset. The counter capture by Yungins, forcing Ouroboros off the point. Utilizing the walls, not just to keep them away from the point, but to block out those petty cyber web snares. Such a good setup. Here comes Spider Time. Soldier's Fist to knock down Trixon, but they're taken out by Big Red, who holds the position. Has, with that Penny Parker Spider Sweeper into the backline, trying to buy time. They'll retreat back to the rest of their teams. The fate of both worlds will be pumped by Notorious to try and hold the point, but they'll get zoned out as Trixon takes down OBD. 37 to 44, currently in favor of Ouroboros. As Yungins hold the point, they will equal up the score. Slabby gets 2, but Trixon took out Mr. Piglet. Notorious Don goes down as well. Trixon is putting on a clinic right now, trying to buy time for their team. Gets another, looking for a 4th, trying to take out Chris Slabby. They don't do so. Chris Slabby will go down to Guyane. But Trixon is essentially soloing their team's hopes right now. 67% because Yungins were able to hold on to the point. OBD trying to defend. Top D's straggling prison at the ready. Drops the wall. They don't really need to pick off anyone yet. They don't need to go in deep and win a team fight. They can just get up to 99 and then regroup later if they need to. Corner Proteus, straggling prison! Gets the triple! Top D's! Top D's what? Top D's plays! Nothing else, don't be rude. Taking out 3, 96, 97, 98, 100! Yungins take it and will move on in the lower bracket.
Another epic victory. Big win.
Incredible play. Well-deserved MVP by Top D's. 12 final hits, 23 eliminations, only being beaten out by Crips, but outclassing them with 2k damage. More than 12k more damage blocked than anyone else in the game. Incredible. Top D's showing up in round 3 of game 5 and securing it for their team. 23 and 27k healing, beating out the 13, 15 and 14k. Let's do the quick maths. So that is about 50k, give or take. Definitely give. Maths is hard. For Mr. Piglet and Notorious Don. 13, 28k. That will make it to 30, 42. So beating out with the 2 healers. Getting more healing output from that Cloak and Dagger and Lunar Snow than the 3 that we see from Ouroboros. Ouroboros, congratulations! Doing such a good job to get here, but they will be going home, they will be eliminated, and they will have to try again in Season 1! Just over a month away at the time of this video coming out and me recording it. Whereas OCE Yungins, they take the series. They will be moving on in the lower bracket to that lower bracket round 12. And are one step closer to becoming the first champions for Asia on console in Marvel Rivals. But for now, I am going to go rest my throat again because as usual, it is being destroyed by the cold. Thank you all for watching. Any thanks, super chats, memberships are currently just going to go to throat medicine, strepsils, honey and lemon, etc. Thank you all very much for watching. I have been Tetcher. Drop a subscription, leave a comment. Help me keep these videos going. I love doing this, so help me keep it running. And thank you all for the incredible positive feedback I've been getting on these casts. It's really nice. It really is very, very nice. I say it basically every cast, but it really is so nice to get these positive messages. Really is keeping the morale up. It's keeping me very happy doing these, knowing that people are liking them. So thank you all so much, and I will see you all next time.